Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today the Arctic blast has hit Toronto hard and there's snow everywhere except inside, where I've cranked the thermostat to a nice balmy 26 degrees in my underwear, sitting down to watch Vivi playing as the Franks in red take on Villese playing as the Vietnamese in blue. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with pepperonis and scouts and everything available to them, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we use this opportunity to take a look at the civilizations we'll be watching today. The Franks are the OG cavalry civilization, harkening back to the last century with Age of Kings. Their nightline comes with extra line of sight, their stables can be upgraded to work much faster, and all of their mounted units come with extra HP starting in Feudal Age. Now, to support their heavy cavalry on the field of battle against pesky, annoying things like halberdiers, pikemen, camels, etc., the Franks can turn to their unique unit, the Throwing Axeman, a ranged infantry unit similar to the Malian Gebeto, whose range can be further increased. Now, to help a player produce as many Throwing Axemen as possible, Frankish castles do come with a discount, 15% cheaper in Castle Age, 25% cheaper in Imperial. And to help feed a big militaristic population, Frankish foragers do work faster, and they get all of the mill upgrades for free. Pivoting to the eastern shores of the map, we've got Villese playing as the Vietnamese and archer civilization with access to two pretty cool, unique archer units. To start with, the Rattan Archer is the second fastest foot archer in the game, comes with a decent attack and a massive amount of pierce armor, making it very hard for enemy archers to kill it. The second is their other unique unit, the Imperial Skirmisher, a better armored version of the already cool Elite Skirmisher that comes with a higher attack and bonus against foot archers and cav archers. Now, if that wasn't enough archer for you, all units that come out of a Vietnamese archery range comes with extra HP, 20% extra HP, somewhat similar, kind of mirroring the Frankish stable units bonus, or I should say mounted units bonus. Now, to support their range units on the field of battle, the Vietnamese have the second chunkiest chunkers in the game. Their battle elephants can be upgraded to go up to 420 HP, and they do get conscription for free, which means they hit Imperial Age running to produce as quickly as possible their military. Now, to afford the cost of training their range units and their battle elephants, all economic technologies cost no wood, are researched twice as fast as normal, and Vietnamese lumberjacks can be upgraded to generate a small trickle of gold every time they jack that old lumber. Now, unlike other civilizations with features designed to protect their settlements, their villagers, their town centers from raiding, the Vietnamese have a feature that makes their raiding more efficient. Let's take a look at their line of sight. Take a look at the mini-map at the bottom of your screen. Notice anything? As the Vietnamese, you start the game knowing exactly where your opponent is located, allowing you to make an absolute beeline for that base, lame the resources, steal the piggly wigglies, and do whatever the heck else you want. Knowledge is power in Age of Empires, and so having this feature is pretty damn good. We've seen it on closed maps like Arena. Now let's see how well it works on an open map like Arabia. Both players sitting on 17 villagers apiece. A good time for us to look at the map and see where they've spawned. The first thing I can see on the minimap, both bases are pretty much open as they can be. Holy moly, the forests are far away. Our Frank, primary gold, nice and secure in the back. Primary stone also off the beaten track here. He has additional gold very far back here with a bit more lumber as well. Where's his secondary gold? His secondary gold and stone, although to the front position. Very, very open. Now, the Vietnamese, not exactly the quickest, not exactly the lightest on their feet. Although, like I said, the Rattan is the second fastest foot archer after the plumed archer of the Mayans. But we'll see if that actually matters here. Usually when you have resources like this on a big open field, cavalry civilizations have their way with that. Let's take a look at the resources for our Vietnamese, and then we'll take a look at wood lines for both players. Our Vietnamese primary gold annoyingly placed on a hill, but he's already begun walling it in, making sure it is safe to mine. Primary stone also kind of to the side, not exactly in the forward position. What is in the forward position is extra gold. Where's his extra stone? Is this Villese's extra stone? Or is this Villese's extra stone? I think this is Villese's extra stone. So his extra stone is nice and secure, very far in the back. And whereas our Frank has gold in the rear position and additional forests, our Vietnamese has stone and additional forests as well, with a bit more security for the tertiary gold here to the back. But again, annoyingly placed on a hill. Not that it makes a massive difference that the resource itself is on a hill. It's usually the fact that it's on a hill means you can't really place a town center nearby, although in this particular case, definitely can place a town center here. But let's take a look at the forests, because another thing we'll notice on the minimap, man, oh man, are the forests far and few between and kind of sparse, kind of small. Not exactly the biggest forest in the world, 7,000 wood over here. I know if I'm going to try to highlight this forest, it's going to highlight the villagers. 5,800 or so, 6,000, let's call it here, as both players hit feudal. So I don't mind the shape of the forests, making the forward position kind of medium level wall off for our Vietnamese, whereas our Frank is forward completely open, but also not terrible locations for these anchor forests. But again, both players really, I mean, sometimes on Arabia, the forest spawns super close. Other times it spawns ridiculously far. I think we know which spawn this one is, ridiculously far. The scout looked like he wanted to attack. That villager thought better of it, and now is moving to attack this villager. No, never mind. Villese, more on a mission of exploration, does not want to violate the prime directive of interfering with other civilizations. And so the USS Enterprise scout here. I'm trying to remember, what's the hull marking of the Enterprise? NCC 1701? Oh man, I'm really nerding out right now. I always forget it, and then I always get upset with myself that I forget it. Then I Google it, I remember it for like a day or two, and then I forget it. Not that it's really that relevant at for Age of Empires, what the hell the hull marking of the USS Enterprise is. I think it's 1701, right? Anyway. 10 army count. Our Vietnamese is supply blocked for a hot second, right up until he loses this scout. First kill of the game goes to Vivi Rambo as he draws first blood. That being said, though, this Vietnamese army is here, and these skirmishers do not come with 30 HP. They come with 36 HP. So essentially, we've got a battle of the extra HP. One for mounted, one for ranged. Random skirmisher, kind of hanging out. Looks like he killed, what's the wildlife we're working? It looks like a bear. Yeah, there's the bear. And now it is Vivi's turn to try to see what he can find out here. Looks like he's already been here, has returned. Actually, I'm curious to see Villese's... Yeah, look at Villese's scouting path. It's literally a straight line to the Frankish base. Now, he saw the settlement, didn't really see... I guess he saw the tip of the gold, didn't really see the stone. So not the greatest of scouting for our Vietnamese, who's resting a bit on that bonus's laurels and not really penetrating any further. Although it can't really penetrate further now that his scout is dead. Maybe I'm being too hard on Villese, whose villagers now come under attack. But, ooh, he's planning a spearman surprise here. One scout, one spearman lie dead. Villager joins the fight, but she is being triple teamed here. Villese defending quite well, losing a single villager and a spearman for two scouts. Not a great trade for him, but not the worst of trades either. The last thing you want is to let your Frank have his cavalry units stay alive as long as possible. You want to kill them ASAP. You do not want them to get better and better over as they mature like a fine horseback wine. Is this open, by the way? Age of Empires and its weird aesthetic, sometimes the visuals. Okay, so it looks like our Vietnamese is trying to bust in. It looks like our Frank is trying to bust in as well, although a bit of an easier time since our Vietnamese has not walled off his base entirely, creating a bit more of a funnel and a bit more of a cul-de-sac here for himself. Another scout bites the dust, but this one's at full HP. Not 45, but 54, because again, we're in feudal. He's mounted, he's Frank, and so he comes with a bit more... this guy's taking his steroids, he's taking his HGH, his human growth hormone, his whey protein. Good time for us to take a look at the bases. Whoa. Okay. Will the villager die? Man, oh man, skirmishers, move away. You are in the minimum range. Okay, archers joining in. Two archers definitely would have helped in this scuffle as these villagers carrying their baskets go back to farming. But what the hell happened here? It looks like Villese finally did puncture that palisade. Did he manage to get any kills? No, no villager kills there at all. And in comes the villager. Two of them. I'm not too sure you should be too scared of this army, to be honest. It looks like that red scout did ultimately die. We'll have seen that in picture. Apologies for missing that, but I was so focused on this. Just goes to show you the inherent weakness of a feudal age army. More of an annoyance, more designed to take 1, 2, 3 villagers off the production line, and 3 villagers when you've only got 30, 35 is a big amount of your villagers. Actually, now it's 6 villagers. But does our Frank care? He is heading up to Castle Age. Our Vietnamese still needs a bit of food, and he still needs a bit of gold. Inserts himself into a little bit of a nook here. I'm surprised that he's... I mean, I guess not really. I was going to say I'm surprised he's not trying to bust down this palisade, but Vivi will probably just place a house right behind it if he can. And now the villagers are taking a bit of HP damage, not exactly the end of the world. I bet they wish they were pole villagers where they could regenerate their health, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's nerfect. As our Vietnamese also heads up. Now, I don't expect this to accomplish very much at the moment, so a good time for us to take a look at what's going on around that map. And by the way, before I do that, in addition to looking at these beautiful horses' asses, there's a bit of a surprise being planned in this stable. I suspect he's going to come out here and then try to rear end this force, but there are 3 spearmen, but look at their HP. Oh man, they are almost dead. We'll see what our Frank decides to do, but let's take a look at his base. Blacksmith forming part of the wall off stable. So those are the only 2 feudal age structures he's got. Our Vietnamese, we saw the archery range, 2 archery ranges, a stable for him as well, and a blacksmith as well. Okay, does anyone have a market? Doesn't look like blue has a market. Doesn't really look like red has a market. And let's see what Villese does. I figured he would upgrade to light cavalry. He's got 40 seconds. No. Why are you engaging? You're 30 seconds away, and you've now revealed the surprise. Your opponent... Okay, now your opponent sees, maybe? Maybe not. That was a very, very... Just the tip of seeing that, but 6 seconds away. Why is Villese... why is Vivi engaging into this? This is going to be very problematic for me. Both of their names start with the letter V, and now he can absolutely take this fight, and a lot of these units are not going to make it home unless there's some kind of reinforcements. There's a spearman, but he's on the wrong side of the forest. Oh, okay, never mind. I got very excited. I thought this definitely would be a lot better, but oh man, I did not factor in that there are 10 archers here, but 10 archers shouldn't be too scary for 4 light cav with 3 pierce armor. You know what should be scary? 10 freaking crossbows, now 11. Okay, a mangonel should be coming out for our Frank to try to shoot away these ranged units as another town center gets plopped. A 3rd, by the way. A 2nd put here. I'm surprised he didn't put his... Tell me, what do you think? Should he have deleted this lumber camp and placed the town center here? And then a mining camp over here to the stone? Or is this a better placement? Because now the location for farms is a bit constricted here. I did hear a monk. Where is he? He's in the town center. Okay. Our Frank making it very hard for me to cast both things at once. Cav archers are on the way. Instead of 50 HP, they come with 60 HP. But our Vietnamese looks like he's finally walled himself in, kinda. This still looks very open to me. Yeah, he's gonna have to back away. These units, their HP, they took a very bad... I don't even want to say engagement here because they didn't really take an engagement. They kind of tickled him with a feather, took a bunch of HP damage, and then ran away. And of course, I say mangonel. So what does our Frank do? He trains 2 scorpions, going up to 4 scorpions against an archer civilization. Not bad at all. Trusting in the zoning capabilities of the scorpion as opposed to the mangonel is our Frank in red, who is now 5 villagers ahead of his opponent. Army count, though, he's down. His army count's a 3rd. So what is he down? 3 times the army count? Villagers hunting the spearman. What does his HP look like? 13 HP. No wonder they're going after him. And go after him. They do husband and wife combo. Decides to absolutely wreck that spearman who dies. Kill count 11 to 9. Somewhere on the map, I missed yet another kill. 11 to 10. Villese is killing these. I'm assuming it's these light cavalry units. He's got 3 HP. He's got 3 HP left. Okay, so he's on relic duty for now. Scorpions on the high ground, not something you want to engage in, even though you do come with 10 extra HP. Never engage a counter unit from the low ground. Okay, blue is backing away. I'm very, very impressed with what Vivi has done here. And by that, let me be more specific. Double wall-offs. Double wall-off. Double chunky wall-off. And then just a chunky and whatever the hell you want to call this. A jumble of houses. But he's basically made sure that these range units, these are not exactly longbows with 12, 10, 11 range. These are just 6 range skirmishers and crossbows. So I guess he could get some damage done here. Maybe over here. But aside from that, maybe over here as well. But he's not penetrating this base anytime soon. Archer units are not going to take down structures. They are not Saracen archer units that come with that +3 attack bonus. 2 relics being shoveled into the Frankish National Museum. Our Vietnamese has the army count. He's got momentum. He's the one pushing into his opponent. But he is not actually pushing into his opponent. He's getting bloodlines for these cav archers, so they're going to jump to a nice 80 HP, which means they should be able to take a better engagement. Oh, no one's noticing anybody. 2 monks bite the dust. The mangonel, will he get? He gets a whole bunch of crossbows. So a bit of a bad engagement for both players, although blue taking the better engage. There are a few crossbows for 2 monks and a mangonel. That is pretty damn good. Oh, Spearman looks like he took on Mother Nature, survived to tell the tale, and is now probably also on relic duty. 3 town centers, by the way, for our Vietnamese, which is pretty damn good, allowing him to catch up-ish, approximately in villager count, 80 to 81, 80 to 82. I don't see a monk, which tells me this is a mangonel from blue that has come from where? All the way from over here. He showed up, he did nothing, and he died. So now we've entered the game of counters, which usually you see a lot in Feudal Age and early Castle, which is what we're in right now. Even though we've been in Castle for a while, I don't really see any of those chunky, heavy-hitting units out of the players. Although I guess you could call a Cav Archer a heavy-hitting unit. Not against Siege, though. He's got to be super careful, does our Vietnamese. He's built an army that can kill you from a distance. You know what can kill you from a distance even better? Siege. Siege, and 20% more light cavalry will close in on you and kill your siege. He's getting stone mining. Okay. So the players are building their economies. Our Frank established 4 town centers for himself. Ooh, misses the volley. I thought for sure he would have gotten that. But in comes the Frank, using the opportunity to gun down that mangonel, but not before the mangonel guns down the opposing mangonel. Villese is building a death ball of cav archers. And for the Vietnamese, I would say they're just about perfect, they're cav archers. I mean, they don't have any particular special features except for the 20% more HP, which is kind of counteracted by the fact that they don't get Parthian tactics. So Parthian tactics would add a bit of armor and give them a bigger attack bonus against spearman line units. Right now it's 2. I think it jumps to 4, if I'm not mistaken. I don't mind not getting Parthian tactics for the armor side of things, because you do come with 10 extra HP. And so it's kind of like an indirect amount of armor. But the attack bonus against spearmen, not something I'm expecting to see against the Franks. So that's why I said these cav archers are pretty perfect at the moment. You just got to figure out a way to deal with the siege. On the other hand, our Frank has to find a way to deal with these freaking cav archers. And so far, light cav seem to be the way to go. They are, though, focusing more on the foot archers. And there are no more foot archers. These light cav have gotten all the crossbows. It looks like one last skirmisher is all that's left. Monk to the bottom will get gunned down as well. Okay, Villese choosing to take this engagement here will clear up the siege, but at a serious cost. Mangonel moves in from the left. He's got to be careful. Oh, if that Mangonel wasn't here, it would be basically an absolute bloodbath between the two players, and it was. 39 kills each, an aggressive forward castle here by our Vietnamese. How many villagers moving forward to build? 7, okay. So he's kind of wants it to go up quickly, kind of not. Should he run in and try to snipe this villager? The Mangonel, will he see the castle At this point, Vilese's got to move away from this area. Okay, this is the problem. You didn't move away. Your opponent chased into you, and now you've given away that there's a castle here. Our Frank, though, is already heading up to Imperial, as is our Vietnamese, who will reach it first. But the question is, nah, he'll have his castle up. He'll definitely have his castle up by the time he gets to Imperial. So he'll be able to get the Treb out first, and he's on the high ground. So extra damage done by that Treb. Extra damage, or extra defensive bonus for the castle on the hill. So our Vietnamese has placed basically a fantastic castle, King of the Hill here, as his 1 weak spearman. Did he kill the monk? That's not something we see every day. An incredibly slow attacking spearman taking out a monk. Ooh, he just now discovers that, hey, I can wall off this entire back area. I want to extend the wall off here as well, and then take the stone. And there's a lot of land for farming. There's a good amount of lumber here. Herbal medicine as well. So he wants to garrison these cav archers, and he's got to garrison them now. Go in, go in, go in. You've got herbal medicine. Why are you wasting your time with the monk? Go into the castle. You are not a Bimaristan monk, or a Bimaristan monk for the Saracens. You get your butts into that castle right now, young man. Another King of the Hill castle. Our Vietnamese are just trying to surround all of the forward avenues of attack that our Frank can take. And our Frank in Imperial is starting to train knights. They're going to be cavaliers. Are we going to see the Frankish paladin? Are we going to see the absolute beast of 192 HP killing machine? He's revealed that he's gone knights. I did it again. I don't know why I call monks knights and knights monks. Sometimes the old brain, like I said, it's like the Star Trek thing where the brain is just so so used to, you know, making the mistake. You just keep repeating it over and over again, or just something you don't know. 2 Trebs being trained for our Frank, who also plopped the second castle. Okay, so to defend the stone, not terrible. I see a blue triangle atop this one knight. Where is the monk? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's not catching up. And there it is. There is the paladin upgrade. Let's see chivalry. Let's see him pump out as many paladins as possible. Now, I wish we could see some elephants out of our Vietnamese, but it looks like he's just doubling down on cav archers and then backing them up with pikemen. I should say pikemen, probably halberdiers as well. He's very far away. Yeah, not that far away from the upgrade. Okay, never mind. He decides to spend his gold on other upgrades. Frankish castle down. Vietnamese castle under attack, under siege. It looks like our Vietnamese did lose a Treb to some of these cavaliers who in 57 seconds are going to be paladins. So we're seeing top of the line heavy cav archers versus top of the line heavy cavalry here. Oh, it reaches 20%, kicks out the villagers, and where the hell are they going? Where are they going? They did not get the memo that they are not Spanish. They are not Incan. Oh, why did the Cavaliers not take that opportunity? Looks like a few villagers still survive here as well. And now look at this. Look at this. Our Frank putting up a castle on the territory, exactly on the territory that once belonged to our Vietnamese. And here we go. Top of the line versus top of the line. Fully upgraded Frankish paladins. You're going to need a lot more than 8 halberdiers to take these bastards down. 11 attack on the cav archers. 7 pierce armor means 4 damage, which means 48 cav archers, I believe, to one-shot a Frankish paladin. You are not Magyars with your extra attack, so you need to be careful. I mean, the good news for Villese is that Vivi is kind of just moving in one paladin at a time here and there. Castle is taking, helping to take down some of the HP from the paladin. Bombard cannon finally moves into position. Not too sure why he's so gun shy about this one bombard cannon. There's literally nothing here, but he's led the paladin straight to him. Yikes. Risky move here out of our Vietnamese, who is going to lose that BBC. Yep, he loses it. There's another one being trained. Where is his siege workshop? There it is. And look at this. We've got a sister castle situation, a castle civil war. Team Iron Man, team Captain America. Oh, the colors even match. Okay, he's gonna pick off at least one of these Trebs, right? Unless they just pack up and wheel away. But packing up and wheeling away makes them susceptible to the cav archers. So our Vietnamese is going to go treb hunting, while our Frank is going to go demolition hunting with these paladins and try to see if he can bust his way in. But hello, there's a path for you already existing here. Oh, look at that Villese with the lightning quick wall off. Keep an eye on those paladins in picture, see what they can get done, if anything. Looks like they are just butting heads into some barricades here. Ooh, this is not what you want to do. He is going up to 50 paladins is our Frank. Our Vietnamese is already supply capped. He's at 200 population. He has failed to bust his way in here. A bit of confusion, a bit of miscommunication between these two villagers. 2 bombards, a treb versus 2 trebs, and a high ground castle as well. I mean, Vilese's castle placement is just much better at this point than Vivi's. But Vivi's got that 25% discount now in Imperial, and oh no, he's raiding with Frankish paladins. You know, we talk a lot about hussars. I mean, and look at how little damage. Look how long it actually takes to kill this guy. He needed 17 cav archers firing 3 volleys. Oh no, the Frank is in the base. I was about to say we talk a lot about hussars raiding, especially when we watch Hera games. Man, oh man, does Hera love to raid with his hussars, as does Mr. Yo, as does everyone really. But imagine having to contend with a raiding unit that has 192 freaking HP, 5 melee, 7 pierce armor, and the Franks are just going around the castle. They don't need to engage into this. It's being bombarded. It looks like we have 1 treb. It's going to take about 1 billion years to kill this castle with its high ground advantage. But there's just way too many Frankish paladins here. 50 army supply to 65. Okay, our Vietnamese, though, doing a decent job cleaning some of this incursion up to the eastern part of his settlement. But that just means the Franks can pivot. Oh, we've got a Feudal Age skirmisher. Oh, he did not accomplish jack shit. I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish, but look at the mini-map. There are just incursions everywhere. A treb will get caught out as well. And yeah, even though Villese has the army supply lead, what do? You are now under attack by 48, going up to 56 Frankish paladins. You have failed to stop the gold mining. You have failed. Your castle is under attack. Your castle here has fallen, and even though you've defended the northern reaches of your settlement, ultimately, I mean, he's just going to be pulled apart by these units, and they're so freaking tanky. Now, if you were to replace the Frankish paladin here with a, let's say, a hussar, I'm not going to say a Frankish hussar because they don't get hussars, but let's say just a basic hussar, I don't know that Villese necessarily would have GG'd these cav archers. I mean, hussars do come with 6 pierce armor if they're Turkish 7, which is very similar to the paladin. What they don't come with is 192 HP. I mean, the Mongols kind of have a bit more HP with the 18 extra HP, but oh mama, this is just brilliant play out of both players, both of them playing to the strengths of their civilization. I did want to see elephants, but what would elephants really accomplish here? What Villese needed to do perhaps is to create some kind of hubs and areas where his villagers can run into like they're doing now. But yeah, this is just, it's the paladins are just everywhere. They're here to the south, they were here to the east until they finally managed to pull away 6 army supply and a whole bunch of halberdiers, which are now very slowly moving to the western side of the map. And now he's even got stables here pumping out, so defender's advantage is getting absolutely nullified with the paladins that are popping up right in his face. And wow, every time you see the Franks, you kind of want to see the paladin. Who's kidding who? Throwing axemen also pretty cool, but the frickin' that frickin' paladin is really this is the backbone of Age of Empires. At least the first, let's say, 5 years of Age of Empires for me. Back in 1998, 99, this Frankish paladin was basically everything. Peak APM for Vivi right at the beginning of the game, furiously clicking, dropping off food, queuing villagers, looking for boar, looking for deer, looking for sheep, or pigs, I guess in this case. Peak APM for Villese right towards the end of the game. Of course, he was attacked on multiple fronts. About 10% bigger economy for our Frank, which is not surprising. Wood for our Vietnamese, not surprising. Everything else for our Frank, not surprising. Relic gold, I don't know, it's about 700, not really playing a role here. One conversion the entire game out of an army count of 173 is completely irrelevant. But did he get chivalry? Did our Frank get chivalry? No, he didn't really need it, I guess. I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. 8 stables is not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. It's kind of a medium level what you want to see. But the problem was for Villese is these cav archers just weren't able to stop the knights slash cavaliers slash paladins. And man, oh man, was that a quick transition once Vivi hit Imperial. He was light cav. He was siege the entire time. And then in the blink of an eye, with these, again, I'm going to fanboy over these double wall-offs. I think these double wall-offs really kept, I mean, what the hell is a crossbow going to do here against 3-4 tiles? 3-4 tiles, however many tiles this is. The crossbow's not going to accomplish nothing. I mean, now it's open, but it wasn't open before. And this being safe and secure from these range units, which again, don't have any kind of attack bonus against buildings. I'm going to double check that before I run my mouth. Yeah, building 0. And he was just kept safe, built a settlement, got his butt up to Imperial. Even though he did get his butt up to Imperial behind his opponent, not too long behind, but still after his opponent, secured his location, even though he lost a castle here. I love the reclamation of the land here by our Frank, who just took the exact same location. That's a sign of respect, you know? Villese should interpret that as an absolute sign of a hat tip to him. Because if your opponent takes the exact same location, it means they think that location was pretty damn sweet. You know, it's like two friends who are attracted to the same person. You know, you kind of nod to each other. May the best man win. And in this case, Vivi with 186 kills, 61 villagers. Let's see how many kills the paladins have. 49 kills on 40 units is not great, but not bad. 27 on 14 is about 2-1. And yeah, Villese's ability to punch back has just been absolutely nullified. His infrastructure here is lamed. And does he have infrastructure anywhere else? He's got a few archery ranges here to the side, but nothing up here. Just that one OG archery range and stable. And the stable is irrelevant. He's not training anything out of that stable. But this is basically it. Where is Bombards, by the way? Were they at risk? Okay, so they're just here doing nothing. They're just, you know, quivering in their boots, waiting for that Frankish paladin to knock on the door and say, no one expects the Frankish paladin. A few halberdiers look like they're making their way. But when you've gone full Frank paladin against halberdiers as upgraded as they are, oh, by the way, I was going to say as upgraded as they are, no upgrades whatsoever. Not that the halberdier really needs an attack upgrade, more relying on that 32 cavalry bonus, but the armor at least, yeah. The picture is becoming clearer and clearer, even though, take a look at Villese's resources. Absolutely crazy amounts of resources. Enough wood to plop down, what, 4 or 5 more military buildings? More barracks? How many barracks does he have? Only 4 active barracks, a 5th being built. And where are they? Okay, yeah, they're all here. Oh, this is about yeah, so... Oh, no, they're here as well. Never mind. Sorry, I zoomed down in the wrong location. He's got 6 active barracks and a 7th being built. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those 6 barracks are nowhere close to being able to assist against these Frankish paladins. I mean, where are these guys going to spawn? They're not safe at all. There's a Treb here. You know there's going to be more Trebs coming out. There are 3. Where the hell are the 3? There's one over here. And our Vietnamese just cannot stop the flow of this tanky unit. I mean, look at this. 5,500 HP of sniping ability. And yeah, the halberdiers will help. And yeah, you've got 31 of them, but not all of them are here. How many are there here in this area? I'm just going to highlight 9 of them. Okay. So the picture becomes clearer and clearer as we look at the end game screenshot, at the balance sheet, let's put it like that. And it is Vivi, our Frank, with that Imperial Age switch to Paladins, who absolutely overwhelms the defenses of the Vietnamese, takes his heavy cav archer to Pound Town, and is just unstoppable against the army composition that he's facing. Even though 31 halberdiers, not terrible, but not against 48 Frankish paladins. Maybe against Celtic paladins, maybe against Burgundian paladins, but not against Frankish paladins. And so realizing that, I believe our Vietnamese decided to live to fight another day, taps out, and it is Vivi, our Frank, who gets the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.